Hello and welcome. This is Chris-Ann. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chris-Ann. I found my little mini paper dolls, or at least one of my packages of them. I have like a package like this of them. I don't know where they walked off to. But we're going to be using, yay, my little paper dolls. And I have the Tim Holtz collage strips. So we're going to be using the little mini collage strips. We're going to be using those as well. We are going to be taking a bunch of old envelopes, and old because some of them, the gum kind of stuck. So we're going to be taking these and we're going to be turning them into a little mini ephemera book. I have not made a demo of this. We're going to be making it together. So I have gotten some of these with the flap off. Let's see if we can sort of gingerly do this to a couple more. I'm not going to use all of these, at least for this project. For another project I will today. I'm not going to use them all today. Okay, let me see how many I have. I want 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we'll hold on to the 6. I don't think I'm going to use all 6. But what you do for this is you turn these back like that. And then, let's see, I forget how it goes now. You take, you glue that in there. This becomes a pocket. You flip this over. This becomes a pocket. Let's turn that backwards. Take this one. You glue that in there, flip it over. So we have a pocket here, we have a pocket here, we have a pocket here. Just gonna do a couple more. So I'm putting the pocket up, I'm putting the flap down, and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna actually glue these in. Let's do one more. There. So that then becomes our little book. And that I can either cut that off, or I can glue it to the back, or I can create something here for the front. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll see. Let's glue these in first. So it's fairly easy. You just have to remember the front of the envelope, it's the back of the envelope, all faces up. And then the flaps all get stuck in. And I gotta get this in here before the glue dries. There we go. Now I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here like this. There. There is that one glued. Now I'm just gonna leave these together. And I'm gonna add glue in here. I think that's gonna be my best bet. There. This way I can keep them really sharp and the edges really tight together. All right. Let's get this one back in here. This is the easiest for me in my hands. You do what works best for you. Now, I don't believe I got all of them. I'm going to check in a moment. All right, that one's attached. Make sure these still open. Yeah, that still opens. Obviously, that one opens. So 1, 2, 3. Here's the one not attached. I knew I had one not attached. All right, that's fully in there. And let's add some glue. Just give that a squish. Now we're going to cover this up. So let's go through so that didn't stick. That's good. That's good. That's good. There. Done. Okay, my book is all attached to each other. All the pages are attached. Now, these make cute ephemera holders. I can just flip that over if I wanted. Let's see. I want to cover all this. And what I was going to do to cover all that is I'm going to do some black paper. I love to use black paper. If you've watched me before, you know I love black paper because it's a great pop for all the things that you put on top of it. So we're going to be putting these things on top of it. So do we want to hold it this way? Depends on if you're right-handed or left-handed. I write with my right hand, but I am ambidextrous. I'm sure you see me switch off all the time with everything else. Okay, let's move these out of the way and let's cut up some black paper. I think for conversation's sake, I'm going to have this open to the right. So let's measure. And Cassie Rose is in here. You can hear her. This is a smidge over 3.5 wide. So if it's a smidge over 3.5, I want to come a smidge under 3.5. And don't worry about this. We're going to make a notch hole in that. Okay. I like that. Let me just cut a bunch of these. This measurement. Whoops, wrong measurement. What am I doing? Smidge under 3.5. There. Sometimes I make a little mark on my paper cutter. But in this case, I don't need to. Now, you could cover both sides with black paper if you wanted. that would make it much more sturdy and substantial. Let's just cut a bunch up. And then I'll cut the other side too. This is 2 or 3 sheets. I think I've cut up 3 sheets. Okay. Yeah. That's at least 3 sheets. Okay, now let's measure this way. Now my paper cutter doesn't measure out that far. So this is called winging it. Eyeballing it. And I put a little mark with my fingernail. I'll tell you in a minute what the actual measurement is. Yep, that's what I want. So let's see, in length, this measures at 6 1/4. But this doesn't measure that far. So now I'm just going to take all these and measure it up with my first one. And it's black paper on black paper, which makes it tricky. When you have a tiny paper cutter and that's all that fits in your space, you figure out how to utilize things. I'm going to be ready to make a couple of these. Or I can do this front and back. I want these in a vintage feel. Oh, is this my last one? Yes, this is my last one. Okay, next thing. Let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. Yes, I found it. Okay. Let's get all of these. Now these we will certainly keep and use in future projects. So let's just put those up there. Oops. I am going to do a notch hole, mostly in the middle, and I want a substantial notch hole. Like that. So I have 5 of these. Okay. There. Okay. Let's move these over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that will cover beautifully. There. Okay, let's get these glued in. Don't keep them to the edges. And then I'll do a little bit. And I need to make sure I didn't glue this closed. And nope, I didn't. Now the other thing I can do is add glue here. There. So this is a perfect little mini book to hold ephemera, receipts, whatever. Sure that doesn't. Let me get my bone folder out. Yeah, that's good. Let's add some glue here. There. Get my bone folder out, double check. Yep, that is good. Nothing got glued. There's a little bug in here. It is the season of bugs. I mean, I like bugs, but not while I'm working in my art space. There. And then the last one. I mean, this is something I might carry in my pocketbook, frankly, for receipts. It's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, I have to keep like medical receipts, medical food receipt. Like, I have a lot of receipts I have to hold on to. There. Okay, that's good. So this is what we have. Okay, should we do some on this side? You know, I like the cohesiveness of that, yes. I mean, it's going to make it thick with a lot of paper, plus whatever you put in the envelope. But I like the look of it. As we say in New England, it looks wicked sharp. Of course, we also say other things in New England. trying to keep this lined up with this side. I cut enough. Well, we'll find out. Okay. I might need to cut one more. All right, let me do that because I'm gonna need this. I just want to check. Yep. Now, let me just cut one more so I can have it as my template. And then put that one up there to keep as my template. Now, I debated doing the corner rounder, but ultimately I decided against it because the envelope corners aren't rounded, and I didn't want to round those. Didn't think that would look good. That's the last one. Okay, now if I want to fold this over, I am going to give this a different crease right there. Yep, see? Oh, I hope I did that on camera. I hope I did that where you can see it. I added sort of like a gusseted crease, well, sort of a gusseted crease to that. Now, should we color that? I have to cut a whole new piece. I think, where's my... some scraps up here. I thought I had... No, I guess I didn't have some longer ones. No, it won't work. All right. We'll see. As we go on, we will see. I could put that there. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just kind of winging this project. So I want this, and I want this. Move this out of the way. And I have a little bit of book page here if I want to use some book page. I do like these. And I thought I could glue those down. bit of book page. So let me just rip some. I don't know. I do feel like it needs something else. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these down first. I'm not going to have these as a belly band because I want everything in the pockets. And I wanted to do the ones that were the groups, but I wanted the standing ones. Oh, here's a standing one. There's a whole bunch of sitting ones. All right, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to do something to the back too. Maybe I can do the sitting ones on the back. Maybe we'll do the book page and stuff. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of sitting ones. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I need something. I have these. My friend gave me a whole bunch of these for my birthday. You see, I don't want to cover that, and I don't want to cover this right here. No. We are just going to glue these down. Okay. And I'm going to do this to all the pocket ones. Yep, that will fit. Okay. And I'm trying to have these be all different colors on each page. The next one's going to be too purpley. So we're going to swap that out. Let's see, I've done a red. I've done a green. I haven't done a blue. And I haven't done an orange. Kind of like that orange. we're going to go with those. Okay, we'll come back and we'll do the paper dolls in a moment. But I like having each one a different color. And I don't have the pictures that are on these too low that they're going to get covered up by the paper dolls. That was the other thing I was looking for. This, I'm okay covering this up need be, but I didn't want that covered up. There, let's come back in with the paper dolls. We'll do this one. That kind of fits. We'll do this happy couple. There. And we'll do them. Okay. That's cute. Now, let's do these pages. All right, let's do that. Let's glue this down, and then we'll glue her on top of the whole thing. There. Kind of cohesiveness going on. Okay. Oh, there's a whole bunch of these globes, but no. Actually, let's put these away before I get confused. Well, that's kind of pretty. We'll do that one. Okay, let's get this line back up again. And get it lined up right there. I hope that's straight, because that's where it landed. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Now, I was going to have some of them sitting. It's too big. Yep. I don't like the words. Okay. Oh, darn. There. That's cute. Okay. I feel like I want a couple things here. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay. There. I'm not doing any of the brown edging on any of this, obviously. Yep. I'm just adding a whole bunch of fun ephemera all over this. We'll come back and we'll add more. Or we won't. We'll do it now. I have a bunch of these books. You know what, I kind of like that one just the way it is. Needs a something there. Let me see what I can find. Coming across those books, so I might, I don't know, I might do that. Here's some smaller ones. Oh, what's this one? We'll do that. Okay, and last but not least, take those little bits out, and then I think I tested, yeah, that one's too big. What are these? Kind of fun to have all these little bits to just play with and go to town with. And this is the back. Now, what did I want to do up here on this? I think I like that. Let's give this a trim. There's stickers on my scissors from one of the other projects. All right. Yep. That's what we're going to do. Now, I could put a piece of Velcro here. I think I should cover this. That stickiness. know what? We're going to cover that. Because I don't want that glue to get stuck on something. You know what? I could see where my great big scissors are. Okay. I was going to cut it around this, but now I'm thinking, let's cut it without cutting the book. There. Okay, so let's decorate those. And we'll do this one with some, so these are all too long, some sitting. Using up the whole package. There's that. What else do we have here? There's another ticket. Let's do that ticket. It's the right ticket. There. Okay. Let's do a little flip through. I think that's super cute. So I have this. Yeah, we'll leave it be. I didn't do any dolls on this one. That's okay. I'm not going to put dolls here. But what I think I am going to do is, where did I put my... ribbons? Let's do some bling. Nah, let's not do some bling. So let's see. This one. Oh, I only have a little piece of that. A bigger piece here. That one. But you know what? I kind of like the green. And I think I'm just going to tie a loose bow. Because then this will have room to expand. And if I want to leave the bow off, I can leave the bow off. There. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That will fit in my bag nicely. Or I can give it to a friend who's going to be traveling, and she might want to keep some little ephemera. Maybe I'm going to see her. I'll bring this and see if she wants it. So maybe that's what I'll do with it. All right. Well, I had fun making this. I got it made in under an hour. I'm kind of surprised. I'm very happy. I kept it sort of basic and simple, but still kind of pretty. And it feels nice and substantial. It doesn't feel flimsy. I have to say, that's something that I'm noticing, that it's, I could have glued these underneath, this black piece and underneath. But you know what? I kind of like the ability, because if I end up keeping this, I may not want this on it. So that's why I like the ability to remove it. So, okay, cool. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Check out my website, elementalenерgieswithchrisanne.com. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Be free.